Good morning. I've got a cup of tea, daylight, early morning light. Well, it's not early, it's 8:30, but the sun is just coming up. And today is Ostara, or the spring equinox, and the sun is moving into Libra. It's kind of weird living upside down because it should be Aries. You never know quite which way to work it out. I guess if you're born here, and you're not into astrology or sort of pagan things like the way of the land and follow the seasons, then it wouldn't be part of you. It's like you, whatever you're born into is what seems to flow with me anyway. So in like Australia, they have the dream and they have different cultures. And in New Zealand, like the Maori have got their own names for the moon. I think Japan's the best because they've got those 72 amazing, like the seasons, the whole little groups of days, so that you end up with like 4 or 5 days, and they've all got a lovely name. Or what's it? Koiko? I can't remember what it's. Iko something. I'll find out more. I'll talk about that because Japanese have got such amazing cultures. But I was born in Northern Europe, and so I'm in that was in my tradition. I mean, some people don't embrace any of that, but I've always embraced nature, the stars, the sky, what's going on outside, the seasons, and it's part of who I am. It flows in my blood. So when we're going into Libra, to me, we should be going into autumn. It should not be Ostara, the spring equinox. It should be the autumn equinox. So I got the card out of the oracle anyway, because I'm going to use this oracle next week, the Ostara one, for this season, the seasons of the witch oracles. There's one for each season. And this was the last one to be released, which only came out last year, I think. So it says, in the darkest of hours, when all seems to be lost, comes a magic of light. Estra. Well, it means Easter. It comes from egg. There's an egg on a tree, and the nest and the eggs, and the hare jumping over our head in the moon. It's where Easter really came from, like, the Christian seasons came from pagan and Rome, and they're all kind of blended together. So that's, the new balance. It's the equinox. It's everything's equal. We've got equal day and night in both hemispheres. But we should be going into Aries, not Libra. But then again, I don't agree with swapping the zodiac over. That doesn't make really much sense to me either. The ascendant would naturally be changed, but some astrologers change the whole zodiac, and I can't even. So that now it would actually be Aries. But I can't get my head round that either. If you're from the southern hemisphere and you were born in the northern hemisphere, or vice versa, please let me know what you think about that. And I am going to try and make a video about it. If there's enough people, I might do a live chat about it. So anyway, the reason I'm here now, because I wanted to sit and drink my tea and talk, is because I wanted to do things differently this week. So the challenge, this challenge that I'm doing for me, the 30 days, ends next Tuesday. And I thought, because I want to do something different the last, whatever we've got left now, 7 days of the challenge, I'm trying to push my boundaries a bit. I thought I would draw the cards this morning and then use those cards to guide me to make a video about something later on in the day. I sort of did that yesterday to choose the deck. So we'll do that. Yesterday I did the Oracle first. Today I'm going to do the Tarot first. So we've got the Lord of the Rings Tarot by Thomas Heahold, and the Saltwater Reading Cards by Laura Bowen. And let's see what we get today. These cards get so much shuffling. When I'm just sitting around, I have to pick up cards and shuffle. Oh, sorry, I should have got the cloth. But I'm really excited about this challenge thing and how it's made me well, I guess the first week or so was making me make the videos and actually do it every day, and it got more and more comfortable. And then there was all the technology to sort out and the spaces and stuff, because I didn't have any space or anything set up when I started on the 1st of September. And then I went out on Friday, I think it was, to the sea, and I'm trying to do more and more things. So do I do a cut? Oops, I'm trying to put that on there. I'm trying to not make noise. So 21. Oh my goodness. This is crazy, eh? Keep saying that, don't I? Oh, put them back. We've got the sun. We had the star on Sunday, and we got the sun on Tuesday. Tuesday is Mars Day. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. So there's the sun card from the Lord of the Rings tarot. I think that might be, I'm trying to work out who she might be. Eowyn, I think, maybe. It's a bit like, because the Queen of Cups, I think the High Priestess is Galadriel, and the Empress is Arwen, the Emperor's Aragorn. I don't know all the others. Anyway, so we've got the sun, the god of light, rules Leo, and the center of our system, or our solar system. And the birth chart's like pretty much based around the sun. And she's holding the wheel, which is pretty cool because the sun being immediately right over the equator is, and I'll get this card today. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Okay, let's find the sun in this strange guidebook, which is kind of a map and a maze and a puzzle at the same time. The White Lady of Rohan is a dazzling free spirit, an inspiring warrior who touches the heart of everyone she meets, even if she sometimes touches it with her sword, true of the sun too. As the sun, Eowyn shares lessons of abundance. You are due for a welcome reprieve, and the Shield Maiden is here to raise her arm, fending off the blows of your enemies. Or she might be inviting you to use your strength to help someone in need. Channel Eowyn by being fearless and vibrant, facing down anyone who tries to diminish your great deeds. Okay. So that's what the little leaflet book says in the Lord of the Rings. So the sun's also about the ego, the self, and the light, and the shining. So we've got the shining sun, putting the light on everything, casting light into the dark and the shadows and the murky corners. And because we're going into Libra, Libra is a nice nice surroundings that make being comfortable and being nice around, having nice surroundings around you. So I'm going to be kind of working on that a bit. And we're going to look at the Oracle card. So I'll move extra over there. So what could the sun, I do not want to be out in the sun. I do have to cut the grass today because it rained heavily over the weekend, and I cut it every week at the moment. I've got a lot of grass to cut, but I'm not going to be making a video about that because the noise is horrendous. But the sun could mean light, so it could mean astrology. What else? We'll see what the Oracle card comes up with, because they might come together and give me an idea of what I can do. We've got the dugong. Now this is something I know nothing about. A dugong. That is cute. And the dugong is quite typical of Leo because it's about appearance. And the sun, and the ego of the sun is about appearance. Oh, we could have got the lionfish. That's kind of cool. That's quite fun. Where's that sign? I just saw this card. Look at that lionfish. Look at that face on that one. It's pretty crazy, huh? Nice cards. I'm really loving these, finding these different decks and in my collection. Appearances. Oh, my tarot. The one thing I might be able to do today is do either the Hobonichi or the new deck if they arrive. Appearances, Dugong. So let's see why it's like a little kind of, well, a sort of dolphiny, prehistoric sort of a fish. So let's see what the book says. It might have another name that I know it by. I know there's something I think called a dogfish. Dugong, dugong, dugong. The dugong is a large grey mammal. Dugongs can grow to around 3 meters in size, wow, as an adult and feed on the seagrass in lagoons and bays around the coast of Australia. The dugong is sometimes referred to as a sea cow because their diet consists mainly of seagrass. Well, that is cool. As well as a food source for some traditional cultures, the dugong is revered. As well as a food source for some traditional cultures, the dugong is revered in many countries for its association with mermaids and for its gentleness and unique body shape. These animals are large and have very unusual heads that have evolved to make grazing seagrass easier. They do not have good eyesight, and so they depend on physical touch, smell, and the sensitive bristles found in their noses. I rely on smell a lot. I've got poor eyesight and I have audio processing disorder, but my sense of smell is crazy insane. They challenge us to look at what we define as beautiful with regard to our bodies. When the dugong swims forward, it is asking you to remember that what you see is only ever half of the story. The physical appearance can be changed to display the traits we wish others to see. You are being asked to take a long look at yourself and your physical appearance. How do you dress and express yourself? It may be time to look at your self-expression and how you honour your physical body at this stage. You may choose to alter your appearance when this card appears to exhibit more of your true self through the kind of clothes you wear or how you style or colour your hair. Oh my goodness, I just come up with an idea and I don't like it. So the idea was reading that, and I said the big challenge is going to be like face talking head on camera. Maybe that's today's challenge. Maybe that's it. To do that, and it's terrifying. It's like, wow. And the sun, well, the sun's the ego, so basically that would be like getting over the ego that tells me that I'm old and ugly and I don't want to be on camera, and my mouth moves weird and I fidget and I can't sit still for 5 minutes, but I could just do it even if I did it for 1 minute. So that might be today's challenge, that I actually talk on camera, or I could be walking around in the background. We'll see. So am I going to accept the challenge? Yes, I am. I'm going to do something where I am featured, not just my hands, my old hand, my lovely hand. I love my hands. I don't care that my hands are old and wrinkled because they've done so much amazing work in their life. And I've been I tend never to wear gloves or use hand cream and stuff. So I haven't looked after them very well. But I've always had these old working hands. And so there we go. That's my challenge today. Feature myself on camera. It doesn't even have to be a minute. I just have to do it. And my head, that's the hair, the Leo, the mane, the sun thing, the head's got to be in it. Somehow. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to stop this for now. Hope you can see the cards okay. And then I'll come back later on and report on what I have done. La la. And happy equinox. I've got my candy mug and my Yorkshire tea. I love my Yorkshire tea. Can't get good. Well, they're getting better here with New Zealand tea. But, I like strong black tea. I don't have any form of milk in any, even plant milk. I can't bear milk. Okay, let's get on and see what we're going to do later on. Bye for now. I'm doing this because I said I would. I tried to do it last night and lots of failures, microphone wouldn't work. I've got coffee, one of my favourite mugs, which I got in 1983 at a green fair in England. So because it's really easy to talk when I'm not in front of the camera, I needed something to talk about. So I decided to talk about the book I'm reading because it's one of my favourite authors, Elly Griffiths. And this book is called The Frozen People. Now, Elly, yeah, I am hiding behind a book. Elly writes brilliant stories. I have two favourite fiction authors, definitely Elly Griffiths and Phil Rickman. Sadly, Phil Rickman died last year. But he had a character called Merrily Watkins, who was a female exorcist. And they were kind of sort of pagan and just brilliant. They were what I call... you know, it's three-dimensional books. They're not just on the page, they really come out at you. And this one is Elly Griffiths' original series is about Ruth Galloway. She's an archaeologist, but she helps the police a lot. She's a single mother. She's in her mid-50s, or started off, I think, about 50. Or late 40s, she had a child late. She's brilliant. She lives in Norfolk in East Anglia in England. I really miss that area. And she's brilliant at sense of place, brilliant at character. The characters are so alive and, you know, so real. She started a new series with a main character called Ali Dawson. She works for the police in a cold case department, but it's a cold case with a difference because they actually time travel. And when I first read about this concept, I wasn't really attracted to it because science fiction, science fantasy has never been something I've been able to read. But I can do magical realism. I love magical realism. Because that has its roots in, you know, in reality. Sometimes it's on that, like, not quite sure. I've written some myself, and it's a lot of fun when you really get into it, and it's a kind of bending things. It's hard to describe. Anyway, I haven't finished the book. I started reading it a couple of days ago, and I am loving it. I started it on audio in my car. I missed a bit because the microphone, the speakers cut out. When I lost the connection, so I had to go back. But it's just brilliant. It's mainly set in London in current times, but they travel back and they find a way. There's someone who's found a way to time travel backwards. And I think it's going to possibly be more magical realism maybe than, I don't know. They do actually talk about time travelling. Within magical realism, things happen and you're not quite sure. You wouldn't mention that you were actually going to do this weird thing or whatever. But they go through this gate and they reform into another world. And one of the rules is they're not allowed to interact in that world. All they can do is gather evidence. So I don't know if it's about that, you know, the change in history would influence the future, or I haven't got that deep into it yet. And it's interesting as well because at the moment they're going back to they're in Victorian times, but I'm not going to give away any more spoilers. But, I can't give that many because I'm only about a third of the way in. I've been putting it off. I've had it since it was released. I bought a special edition, the bookshop special edition. They do it independent bookshop editions. It's got a beautiful map has a signature and a beautiful special edition bookmark. Some murders can't be solved in just one time. And it's just that lovely book smell, the back cover. It's brilliant. I'm loving it, and I just wanted to say that's what I decided to do for this video, because I had to have something to talk about. I struggle with keeping still. I struggle with making weird movements with my mouth. It's all part of living with who I am. And if any of you have got similar neurological goings on, well, you might understand what I mean. It's really difficult for me to keep still and to look at the camera straight on, which is a lot of reason I don't do these talking head videos, because it's actually painful. And when I see myself and I see all my mouth, and because I'm always like, I feel like I know it's crazy, but there we go. I've got to be comfortable, otherwise I'm not going to enjoy it. So I'm enjoying talking about this. I've done this. Bye.